Hey guys, welcome back to more sewing things. You can tell I haven't really recorded in a while. I was having a bit of trouble trying to come up with the next idea I wanted to do on the channel because none of you watched the last video.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
I had a thought of, I have a pile of just a heap of shit that I had ideas to fix or mend or upcycle. So I wanted to come at you with 3 little small tasks that could be wrapped up in a short video. So the first one was something to do with this jumper. It says Kennedy Space Center. I think it's from the US, I believe. It's Fruit of the Loom, which is definitely not an Australian company. It's nice and faded. I wanted to wear that, but sadly, it's an extra large. I found another jumper, this similar color blue one, which I can stitch them together and I'll make them bigger. Second project I want to do. It was stuck on my wheel. This shirt my fiance found at the thrift store. It's more of a dress, so we're thinking of just cutting it a little bit to make it more of a dress shirt situation. Also has pockets, which would be a bit awkward on a shirt. I'll just go by and stitch that up as well. And then the final one is very ambitious, patchworked jeans. So I've got a metric ton of fabric, which would look good patchworked on these jeans. Just a pair of jeans from Big W that I wore a lot because they fit really well. So stick around to the end of the video for me to show all these things finished, but we're gonna do that jumper first. There's this tutorial by Tanner. I'll link his channel right here. Here's a photo of his channel. He had this cool vlog where a part of it is where he sort of stitched 2 dress shirts together. So I'm gonna use that technique to kind of combine these 2 jumpers to hopefully make a jumper that's actually my size. And looking at these in person, they're a bit of a different color. I feel like this was this color like 10 years ago and then it's faded. I think if you're not looking at it too closely, I think it'll be fine. So I've just set up my cutting station here, aka the ground. It's pretty simple. You're just trying to preserve the natural shoulder line of each of the garments. And we want to keep most of this art. For this one, we're going to try and get as close as we can to this sort of sleeve edge. Cut all the way down, straight line, all the way down. And we're gonna mark this side. And then we cut it out. Cool. Now that we have this bit, let's transfer to the other jumper. So now instead of going as close as we can to the sleeve, we're gonna try and go as close as we can to the collar, straight down. And that'll give us a few extra inches around. So now we have a jumper that'll look like this. I didn't think about that these jumpers have an elastic down the bottom. So what I might need to do is cut off all of that bottom ribbing part, then hem it all together to then make the body all even and then attach the webbing. See how it fits first before we make any drastic changes to the whole thing. Try to be gentle so I don't rip out the pegs. It's an effort just to put my head in. So I'm gonna go to the mirror. No, no! Look, it is a bit short, I think. You can see my tum-tum, so I think I need to add some length to it, which should be easy enough. We have scraps from both colors, so if we sort of extend each panel using their color, that should be good. The more I'm moving, the more of the pins that are coming off. I think it's good around. It's just the length. Next step, I think, is cutting off all of this ribbing to then extend each of the panels. And then once we've extended all the panels, we sew it all together and then we add the ribbing on last. I tried to charge all of my batteries overnight and they didn't charge. They're plugged in and they didn't charge. I locked in a little bit and didn't update y'all, but there was probably like a quick 30-second montage of everything I did. Basically, I cut out these strips, added another 4 inches onto the bottom of all the the 3 separate panels. I'm just gonna construct it as the full garment and I'll try it on and see if it's a better length. So here's the jumper. It's looking pretty good. The colors are pretty obviously different. I think that's fine. I think it gives it some more character. But yeah, as you can tell, the edges are pretty misaligned. After I sort of cut this even, I'm gonna sew on these ribbing parts again. I am switching up where I'm sitting for a little bit because I noticed in my last video that a lot of it was kind of just in the one room. So I wanna kind of mix it up. I'm just gonna cut these panels so they're even to everything. And then I'm gonna cut and pin these pieces on. As I'm cutting this, I've had the thought, I'll have to attach all of these pieces together first. So it's a big ring that I can just add to the jumper. There we go, big circle. So I'm gonna stitch those sides and then I'm gonna stitch it onto the jumper and it'll be done. All right, so it's the next day, so it's time to do the next project. My fiance wants this. I believe it's like a dress. We're gonna cut it so it's more of a dress shirt. There's also pockets in it, which shirts don't have side pockets like that. I have put this camera on such a precarious spot. I'll show you real quick. It's on the couch, it's on this, that's then on top of this. And I have my drink bottle kind of giving a counterweight so it doesn't fall off. This is the type of innovation that you expect from this channel. Let's get cutting though, huh? Great, now we just got to hem. Sorry, I'm not into the shot. Oh my God, my headphones flew off. Now we're gonna hem it. Cut to the sewing machine. I'm gonna rethread the machine with some red thread, which I found at the thrift store. Probably like a shitty one. It says polyester 500 meters, and there's like only this much on there. We'll see if it works for this kind of slippy material. I need to get the scissors. Okay, this is the final project I want to do, and it's probably the most ambitious, so that's why I saved it for last. Basically, I want to add some patchwork details to these jeans. I have this box of scraps, so I'm just going to try and find some stuff that'll work. I love corduroy, and I made this sort of corduroy patchwork thing, so I think I want to use a bit of this. I also want to use some part of the other pants I made the last video, this sort of upholstery fabric. I also have this beautiful tea towel thing that I found, and I think this would be good as like a main piece for something. I haven't even scratched the surface. Is this sort of gold? Kind of pin the design to the pants before we go in and stitch it all on. This is the design, making this sort of fruit thing the focal piece on the bottom here. This other upholstery material I use for my other pants, kind of tying that together over that side. Yellow floral, bit of corduroy down there. I think that'll look kind of cool. Now I'm gonna pin it on, and I'm gonna explain how I'm actually going to sew these on. Because I could hand sew all these on, but I don't have like embroidery floss or anything like that. I think I need to buy some more stuff for that. So I think instead, I'm just gonna cut all the way up the middle bits so I can have access to just this front panel so that I can sew everything on. And I'll sew it back up again and we should be all good. Let's cut up this middle bit. I'm a bit scared. I've pinned on all the patches and I've cut down the middle of it. Then the next step is the scariest step and the longest step. Is to just zigzag stitch around the edges of all of these patches. We are at the sewing machine and we're gonna sew around all the edges. And I just thought I'll explain what I'm gonna do here. And excuse me as I like rethread my sewing machine while I'm saying this. But basically, when people do patches, normally it's hand embroidered. I didn't have the time or the skill to do that. It's not an innovative idea that I've come up with, but I think what would be best for me is if I just zigzag stitched all of the patches around the outside, like on the outer edge. And I think that'll speed up the process a touch. I'm just gonna use this color thread because that's like the average color of all the patches, really. I'm gonna rewind this bobbin and then we're gonna get to zigzag stitching 7 billion different patches. Alrighty, so you've just seen all of the thrift flips, the stuff that I've been meaning to do, the stuff that I've been meaning to mend. They were very quick sort of things to do, and something easily all of you can recreate at home. Also, comment below what you want me to do. Give me some ideas, you know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one, and bye.